Welcome to Dark Duck's community server, the second video. We're going to show you the Elven Quarter and what our community has done with it. I have brought some other members of our community along with me today who have built in this server and have lots to share about what we're going to see. This is Ruik, this is Dova, and this is Gror. Things change right from the very beginning. You'll notice you can't see the wizard mark and the pedestal anymore, because this gave it a more natural flow. And as you come in here, you get the beautiful wonder that you remember, except things have been changed a bit. As you can see, there's now a gatehouse, but we created a road sign because there's a bunch of different communities in here. Well, different communities. It is a community of several different estates. The bridges, you can see the sign gives off to the different locations. And at first we decided we're going to take you the back way into Ruik's Haven. Everybody who plays this game knows about the secret pathway that takes you around the backside of the waterfall. This is what we've done. Shiny.
Still nothing in here.
Well, nobody's moved in yet. Still populating the server.
Free real estate.
We're going to a place called Ruik's Haven. Ruik, spelled R-U-I-K, is one of the first members of Dark Duck's community, and when we first entered this area, asked if he could have this place. And I was like, sure, whatever. No one ever claims us this spot, so certainly. So, let's look around. He rebuilt the houses. He came back after the first, he built the first area before there was the Entwood DLC, and then he came back and redecorated it with all the life that you see. At that point, before it was not as colorful.
Now there's all this elven greenery.
Well, the area already had the elven greenery, so it's nice to complement what's already around. We can go with our eye for perfection in that example, I guess. Just like emeralds. Leaves made of emeralds.
This was one of the first buildings. We had an elven quarter, right?
Yeah. Yes. One of the very first builds. And it was only renovated once with the Entwood expansion. It's also one of the few surviving old growth forest members of the Elven Quarter. So you can enjoy the treehouse that was created out of it, which gives you a pretty spectacular view of the room as a whole. Even some present guests down at the river.
Not sure how they got in here. This area is supposed to be sealed off.
No, not completely, because we wanted elk.
Oh, yes, that was right.
We wanted wildlife to still be here. And so to have that, you got to take out a couple of the hearths. And so that made it so that there's always a roaming band of them for us to enjoy.
The bounties rich of Khazad-dûm are kept with lock and key. The cellars are stocked with drink enough to drown the distant sea. For those who toil, the wealth of soil is his who finds it first. And when you tire, set by the fire with drink to slake your thirst.
I love that song.
You can go down. Well, now that we see them down there, we don't need to go and get in an argument. We can go back the way we came.
Filthy dwarves.
And we'll go over back to the road sign, because there's two other directions that we haven't been yet on that road sign. It's a beautiful spot from the falls too. Turned out well. Multiple builders inside of the actual Elven Quarter. One of the major contributors to this area is our videographer right now.
Yeah,
And
hello.
Gror, Gror and Ruik are both master builders in this community, and Gror builds castles, and Ruik, you've already seen a bunch of his work in the first video when we were touring the Westgate. You'll remember the inn that I talked about that we did there together.
It was a collaborative project between me, you, and one other, I think.
Clarice.
Clarice?
Yeah.
That's
Clarice
right.
helped
She
with
furnished
that.
the penthouse suite, didn't she?
Yeah. Let's go to the road sign. We're going to go to Gror's castle.
Now this I haven't seen yet.
This is one,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
this is one of Gror's new projects that he's only like very new. It's been done in, I think, in the last month, finished in the last month is when he
I
did this
like it.
project. You see this, he's got a sign out front. He's made a nice porch area over here from what used to be one of the mine spots.
Yeah, right.
So you can enjoy the nice greenery view of the gatehouse and the front entrance. All right, and yeah, you get to get great views of the gatehouse. That's something else Gror built. Originally, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's go into Gror's castle first. All right, so a while back, Gror said he was inspired by, in the first movie of the Fellowship of the Ring, when the Fellowship goes through the mines of Moria, and Gandalf says just a little more light, and lifts the light, and the Fellowship looks around, and they're standing in a giant hall that looks like a forest of stone pillars that reach up into the sky in the darkness. And he was inspired that he would like to come and do that in the server somewhere. And and he wanted to do it somewhere, possibly in the Elven Quarter. I suggested that this dead space was still available to be worked on. And he said, let me see what I can do. And then, yeah, a few weeks later, this appeared. It changed 3 times, though, I know, since I started watching it be constructed. It even collapsed once and caused, well, I don't know that it caused one of the breaks, but it was during one of the breaks. And he lost all of this build at least once
Yeah.
in one of the breaks.
Sad times.
You'll see all those mithril armor up there. He got those because of a bug that we have in the server that it's just producing mithril armor. And I told him that they were producing it and there's a lot of it available. So we went and grabbed a bunch of them and put them up there, dyed them black, and added them to the dragon guard that is in his castle.
Let's go this way first. Just
Oh, okay.
chronological
Ooh,
order.
sneaky little staircase there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sneaky staircases. He's got multiple sneaky staircases.
Oh, he went
This
up.
is my, yeah, like gold room, enchantment room, if you can call it that.
Oh, the horde.
The horde. Yeah.
Your horde. Your personal horde room. It's beautiful.
Ooh.
Freaking beautiful. Okay.
I love it.
Ah, this is where you study.
At least I try.
That's where he does his accounting.
Yeah.
The numerous piles of gold.
We have an example in the server of something like this later on that's quite entertaining as well. But you won't see that for a couple of videos yet. That's just a teaser for something that we're going to show you later. Come on downstairs. Let's go. It's okay, that was the first room.
Yeah.
Oh, look at there's a nice little eating area here hidden in the corner too.
Oh, this
Fun.
was just for the NPC. I had
Hidden
one
storage.
NPC here a while ago.
Oh, you did? I didn't even know there. Here's a funky throne room. Throne of Gror. So cute.
King he
Nice.
was on carven throne, in many pillared halls of stone, with golden roof and silver floor, and runes of power upon the door.
Oh, there's your pet.
This is truly exceptional work, Roar.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Oh, there's my little animal. I named him Torin, I think.
Yes, the cave of Torin the bear.
Yeah,
That bear. Lovely.
he is my
He guards.
personal own watch. Yeah,
Yeah,
Guard.
I wouldn't
Oh, look, we should
suggest
go out
petting
that
him. He
door.
bites.
and he's
We'll
peaceful
go up that
most of
door
the
so you
time.
can see the way out.
He tried to attack me last time.
This is the other exit of his castle
Yeah,
that goes into one of the mushroom gardens. You'll see the mushroom gardens and the castle later on. Now we'll go upstairs. We might have to argue with the bear. No, it's not here. We're all good. I really love the upside down stairs, the inverted stairs. I think that was one of the greatest things that they added to our toys. Got a nice little porch here. Welcome to Gror's house. His private abode. And there's beer here. Yes. Yes.
Billy has a ruby wine and Yari a cup for me.
Beautiful.
Block.
Fantastic.
Fresh cuts from the stream. Gloinus by the doleful side.
I do love the
lovely to
couches.
behold. But best of all, throughout the hall was ale a shining gold.
Came in right at the best time to add the harmony.
And a song.
Alright, let's go deeper inside. What's past this door? Ooh. Scary view. I remember one time he was showing me this, and I came here and I kept falling through the floors. I was like, that's not a good thing.
Trapdoors.
Very nice. Look at your archway. Fantastic.
and the best part, the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing that Gror does. Gror likes the crystal lights at the tops of
Yeah.
caverns. It's his special place. You'll notice he has franchises of these throughout the server.
He likes to get a nice tan.
Yeah, he likes
Yeah,
to.
of
I
course.
want as close to the natural light as possible. It's not, but it works. It's a fantastic view. Another great spot for a drink and scenes. Why not? Why am I thought?
The envy of all creatures is the horde of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah,
And
pretty
not a soul,
spectacular
no
view.
dragon or troll can take
You
the
can
halls
see the
with you.
bridge,
Through
both
darkness
bridges,
lights are shining, lights
over to
the
Ruik's
duty we must
Haven,
carry. We do
the
our part to
gatehouse,
keep the heart
and
at
down
work
to the
and make thee
monument in
merry.
the center of the map.
Let us sing it again.
All right, now try to go down the ramp so that we can go to the street sign and go back to that spot that you weren't supposed to see the last time, in case you missed that. Yeah, you wouldn't really recognize what this was at all anymore when you walk around in here. You have no idea that this
There was
is a
nothing
whole
here before.
area.
Nothing.
Yeah, there was a ruin of a building over on this side that was half destroyed because there something long ago existed. And then when we first showed up, somebody took it all down. Okay. As everybody remembers, the Elsbleth Trappings.
A bear nest!
A little late to call it that bear's nest.
Okay. Where do we go?
So the bridge was originally built by Phoenix, one of our members, because she wanted a fast way from the entrance of the Elven Quarter to the castle, because the castle had already been built by that time. Then bears came and kept breaking everything. So we asked Gror to come and rebuild the castle enough that we won't have bears anymore. It's been through 3 stages since that time, and this is now the finished product with the gatehouse that he recently finished only a couple of days ago. And then as we continue down, it takes you down into the Elven, into where the original white area. So you go over that entire water zone. This is where we decided as a community to build our first monument. And it was Ruik who placed it so perfectly that if you walk around, it sits exactly in the spots where it's supposed to be when you look at the floor.
Yes, I
Ruik's
love how we're highlighting my penchant for OCD.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've talked about already how the community has eclectic tastes and abilities. So we're all wonderfully
Quiet.
accepted
I see
down here.
tree ahead.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
what that is
It's a
over
wonderful centerpiece to the area, I think.
there. It is, yes.
got
It's a
some
perfect place
parkouring.
for your Zagal of wealth.
Ah, I see something ahead.
What is he pointing at?
We got some.
Oh, the
look at
deer
the elk.
sitting on the wall.
Those are our
Look
new
at-
cards.
There's our new protection. Right out here, we have Dova's creation, recent, brand new. It was brought from. He built the idea originally in another member of our community's game while we were going on expeditions. Because why? What inspired this?
Just boredom. Wanted to make a basketball court. I made one in my own world a few months ago because we have a bunch of cranks. As everybody knows that plays the DLC, you get a lot of cranks. So I found that you can throw the cranks. So I made a basketball court to pass time in my own world. So I'll just, shoot some hoops. And yeah, I figured I'd bring it to the server because pass some time while loading walls happen.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you for a wonderful earthly addition to our Middle Earth realm. Okay, this is also where the teleporter is for the Elven Quarter because it's communally shared between all the different areas where there's Ruik's Haven, there's Gror's Castle, there's some housing projects, and there is Narvy's Castle. Originally, everybody recognizes this covered in wood and is the very first Narvy's Forge. Now, it's not that at all. I originally created the bare bones of the castle to make it so I could take down the barricades and not be attacked by the wolves and in the process. And then the community came and took on different projects throughout the castle. And then Gror joined our community and
And
rebuilt
shortly
the castle.
thereafter went absolutely insane with it.
Yes, several times. It has changed multiple times to now where it is what you see before you. It expands all just to the gate on the east side or on the west side, and then onto the east side, it goes all the way over to where Gror's house is, or Gror's castle is. So we're gonna start by going in through the front door. We'll do a little bit of a round of the main hall, and then we will do a pattern of starting in the left and working our way through the castle until eventually showing you a grand finale. Originally, it was also, these are the 3 front gates where it was invaded, because it used to be that the castle would get invaded at the front gate and at the gate on the west. What inspired you, Gror, to redecorate this 5 times?
What inspires me? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's 5 times
We
because
got orcs.
I'm kinda a person who always wants to make stuff near or close to perfect status. And
Do you remember the second time when you turned it into Minas Morgul? When you would come here at night and the entire thing looked like Minas Morgul from the outside? And
Oh
we were
yes,
all
we'll have
like,
to give them a night shot after this, so they
yeah,
can see it.
it still does
it's
it
still
to an
Minas Morgul.
extent, but it's not as terrifying as it was back then, because he had it all the teeth, using all the jagged building pieces. So yes, it was more jagged then than it is now. He made it much more elegant this time around on this last build. Great work, great work. The interior was actually done by several members of the community, like not the interior build, but all the decorating, because we had to make all these suits of armor and all these weapons and everything to decorate it. So multiple members took turns for days making just armor and weapons that you see everywhere around you. And that's why we are a community that helps each other, because some of these projects are quite daunting. Okay, so I guess I should bring you with me.
Yeah.
Let's go this way. And we're going to go into the West Armory, West Gate Armory. This was, when the castle used to be sieged, it was this gate armory that was sieged every single time. So we created airlocks so that when you're fighting out here, you actually have some time to deal with whatever's out here, and they're never able to get in because you close the airlocks around you on the outside. Because it does still get sieged. Not as often as it used to, but since there's some wild guys, we get sieged here occasionally now and then. This is where it happens, because they can't get past that lower gate.
I have to excuse. There are maybe some lags.
It's
which-
mostly because of everything we built in the server. There's just so much data for it to load that it can't do so with
Yeah.
any degree of speed anymore.
I would have to upgrade it again, and there's only one more upgrade, and I can't afford that. So for now, but it would double what it is now if I were to get it. Each one doubles. Okay, let's go upstairs. Well, back into the forge itself. But first, we're going to hit the upstairs so we can continue the tour on. This was built with the idea that the castle would have a garrison always living here, and they would need to eat at a mess hall. So it was only built as a 1-floor plan, because that is a full garrison pretty much right there of seats. So yeah, kitchen space and seating, and then a patio out here made so that you could, when the sieges are happening, you can jump down on them with your hammers of destruction.
This was your work, if I recall correctly, wasn't it, Darth?
Yeah, this was part of the very first castle when the original construction happened. I built this back then. It hasn't changed since, because we haven't thought of putting more floors in. On this side, there was no need.
There's certainly
Alright.
room for it.
Yeah, there is. We could add more stories. We come into the back area of the forge. We're going to walk over to the left. This is brand new. It's done in the last 2 weeks. It's done by one of our community members. Her Discord name is 11FU. And she did this in her own world. She was inspired by The warehouse, the Grand Warehouse by Lionheart, inspired the idea, and she took it to her own creation, created this. Dova showed up and put a roof on it to add a little bit more, balance it out with the other side and give it a bit more of a structure feel. It really complements the way the storage is, because the original, it was everything was just on the floor. There was just pallets on the floor and multiple chests around the pallets on the floor. So this is fantastic. It's made the space much more aesthetically pleasing. Down in the bottom floor of the forge is where we put the blacksmithing area, imagining, and when the dwarves are awake, they're in here and they're standing at all 5 of these forges working, which is really cool to see, because when we designed it, it was only in imagination at that point. But then when the NPCs showed up, this castle really came to life.
The sounds of hammers ringing throughout the hall is like music to my ears.
So walk into, past the grills, into the, this is the kitchen that's actually for us and the NPCs. The kitchen that we built up there in the mess hall is for the imaginary garrison. But in here is where the NPCs and where we eat when we go on adventures in the server.
And some
We
of us
walk
may
farther
sleep
down.
in here.
Oh yes. And again, you're gonna see this happen multiple times. Gror has beds everywhere. Like everywhere throughout the server. It's like a Easter egg. Where's Gror's bed in this part of the server? Go farther back and you enter the smelting room. Everyone in the server that enjoys working in here has been warned not to use any of these smelters because they will crash you out of the game. At some point, they just turned buggy, and you try to use them and they throw you out of the game. So it's advised to not use these smelters anymore. For us, the NPCs can use them, but we can't very well anymore. Okay, we'll go back through the kitchen and use the stairway to go upstairs. Here is the work room of the castle, where you would imagine multiple dwarves building, making cloth, fabrics, putting runes on weapons and armor. You can only put runes on weapons in this game. In our imaginations, they're making all kinds of rune craft. We're gonna climb there through this back doorway. This was all done by Gror. Gror did this part. I built the original kitchen and bottom floor, and then Gror took that and created all of what we're seeing right now. Then asked me to come back and decorate it. So we turned this into the trophy room of the castle. It also holds the lower metals of ingots. This is where we imagined that no orc's gonna get up here and steal any of this because they'd never get through everything else of the castle. There's a nice little secret treasury at the back. Really good use of all the space, and it gives that lovely feel of being like you can actually, I think you die if you jump from here. Pretty sure you might die from jumping at this point. Either that or you break your hip.
It's definitely high enough.
And in the very top floor is where the higher metals and all of the gems are kept. And even the secret stash. The server has submitted. You'll see that. Well, you'll see that just in the armors being everywhere.
I think at this point we have an abundance of pretty much everything.
Yes, yes. The server has unlimited supplies of its own now. With the community and their own, and all the expeditions we do. Okay, we cross over. You'll see from up here at the top of the bridge, you'll see our delving stone. You see the original Narvy's forge with the big smelter at the back and the big blacksmithing space down there. You can see that there's a whole nother side that we're about to explore. and where we came from. This area that we're standing on, I don't believe that you can go any lower. I'm pretty sure there's a box that right where we are, you can't actually build. And that's why we had to put the bridge the way it is, because there's a
Mhm.
certain space underneath it that you can't work on in any way, shape, or form. So that's why the bridge has the arch and everything the way it was. The first time this bridge appeared, it was our member Oren, and he created it, and it was kind of weird. So we came and helped him modify it, and then Gror showed up and said, I'm going to redo that again. And now it's this beautiful thing that it is now. But it's changed a few times as well. Okay, let's go down to the brewery, because of course a castle full of dwarves needs to have a mighty brewery. Spoiler for anyone who watches this video and Durin's Folk expansion point and hasn't experienced Durin's Folk expansion, because right now we're gonna do something. So if you don't have the Durin's Folk expansion, skip ahead.
Yeah, just skip that part.
Walk back here and come into what is the Calibrimbor's secret forge, and it has been claimed by two of our dwarves, Dova and Builder. They've decided to become two dwarves living together in secret forge.
Yeah, Builder definitely has no idea that I moved in next door.
Yeah, he hasn't been back yet. That's gonna be really funny when he shows up and goes, "Oh, Dova moved in."
I'm just across the hall from him.
And you really have to mention that it was very lucky for us that this door was exactly at this
Oh
floor.
yeah, it was
right
a
Yeah.
here.
real challenge. It was amazing that this actually worked out, because I think we only had to move one beer tank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
we only had to
remember.
move it a little bit. It was like we just had to take it down and move it like 3 inches to the left or to the
Yeah.
right, and that
I
was like
remember.
good.
It was myself and Builder that directed the light. We had to put the mirrors up on this bridgeway. We had to point it from way over there, and then we actually fit it right through this little archway to that door there. So it was very
There's
lucky.
something over there.
Yeah, to the central hall entrance to the back of the castle. Yeah, you made it squeak through. Yeah, it was intense. I remember being here and we sang to it, and it was amazing that you were able to maneuver the light through all of this. So impressive.
Tons of fun.
Okay, let's go upstairs. You'll see an area that you might remember from the original game. We're rebuilding the pipe area. Except now, because of the castle, it's all nicely developed with the rebuilding of the stairs. And then it also takes you up to the Hobbit Leaf Smoke Room, because of course the castle has to have one of those too. It's a franchise throughout the server. The only area that presently doesn't have one is Lake Town. That'll be a project.
For now.
So trade with the Shire is going very well.
Very, very well. They're represented well inside the mountain. Right from the patio, you'll get to see a little hint of where we're headed. And that's the expedition room down below us, and the new storage for the building supplies. As you saw on the other side, that was the storage for all the ores. So the castle is also the main supply hub for the entire server. Everybody in the server who, when they originally come to the server and join our community, well, after they join our community and get access to the server, they're given a bunk in the server, in the castle, and then they get to use the resources available to go out and start colonizing dead areas of the mountain. But they start here because this is where we all have a bunk in case we need to go to war. We join the army that lives inside the castle, as we get called from the ravens and the bells and the horns to come from our homes and defend the castle from whatever's coming. Down on the bottom floor is the pub. The pub changed 3 times when the before the NPC, the expansion, and then again after, because we needed to make it so they could drink here too. Because we didn't know if they could sit in the chairs properly. We didn't know about the new addition they gave us with the tavern kegs and the brewmaster's grain sacks. Those were all new toys, so it was pretty exciting to do some remodeling when that arrived. And that was also when we actually got the ability to sit on these lovely stools and sit here and enjoy a brew.
Ah,
This is Gror's table at the pub. Nice.
the
I
VIP.
like
I see.
it. So here's our expedition room. Again, spoilers. For anyone who doesn't have the Durin's Folk expansions, we use this because all these kegs, Dova has made it so that you have the right, well, they're all empty right now. We learned lots of expeditions and drinking together regularly. Okay, up some stairs. This is another one, the other side of what you saw over there. You can see a bridge that connects them over here. This lovely bridge also gives you a view of the delving stone, another thing from the Durin's Folk expansion, and there's the entrance to the front hall to your left. This bridge was another one of those Oren built and Gror rebuilt projects, but it really makes it handy to be able to get across the room quickly. You get to see all of our supplies and mass quantities in the chests below. It just gives a beautiful aesthetic instead of everything on the floor, just in pallets. She also decided on this one that she's going to build her own house. And one of our other members moved in and they live here together now in Ruik and
No.
Nithil.
Oh,
Roek. Sorry, Roek. Spelled Roac, and Nithy's apartment.
You gotta stop inviting people that start with RO.
I
Too
don't
many
know
people with
until they're-
similar sounding names.
Yes,
So many of them.
Ruik, Rorik,
No,
Roek.
I like this though.
Oh.
She's sort of taken it upon herself to be our quartermaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, really well done and out of the way. Like it's the storage of mass amount of product and it's all tucked up above us, which you'll notice throughout the server that we really start using the space in all of these chambers. Okay, back through one of the armories. Originally, this was it. This is where you would go through this doorway and that would go outside. But then Gror showed up and changed things. We'll show you what's out there in a minute. First, we're going to go upstairs to what is the barracks. And originally, this only had 1 floor, and it was only for just the dwarves that were presently living in the server. Now it has all of these dwarves on this first floor, where every one of these beds has a footlocker with a dwarf's name on it, and they're all members of the community. There's a second floor. There's even more. There's a 3rd floor now. The 3rd floor has recently been filled up. Okay, up to the 4th floor. This is the most recent floor built in simply because we ran out of space down below, so we added another floor, and the NPCs now live up here. They actually walk up all these floors and take whatever bed isn't claimed. Yeah. All the way from the 1st floor all the way up to the 4th. So we're gonna use this little secret doorway.
Perfect dwarf height too.
Again, I
Yeah,
have to
fair.
excuse lags. It's really the server just trying to handle all the data.
Yes, all of our builds are very intricate, so it really pushes the Nitrado server that I've rented to do all this. This building was originally created by Gror, And then I think, was it Gror and Rorik? Rorik built the bottom building.
I created
That
the
is the
foundation
foundation.
for it,
Yeah.
but Gror is the one who turned it into what it is today. Honestly, Gror is for he's mostly responsible for like 80% of everything in this entire area.
Yeah.
If you don't know who built it, just assume that it's him.
He's done almost all the finishing work. And building, because he created all, like, recreated all of the castles that
But
were here.
the interior
Yes.
stuff belongs to you and Clarice and
Yes, this room here was done by Clarice. There's a stairwell here, and it takes you down to the book, the tomes and books. This was done by Phoenix, this room specifically. Phoenix did this room. And we'll go down this stairs, and this enters the overflow of the barracks.
I think this
We
was
go
one of
down-
the first additional bunk spaces that we built, actually. This came before even all the other floors.
Yes, yes, this was the original overflow of needed space for dwarves. Created what was going to be the officers' quarters, and we decided with the decorative of it that there would be all the fanciest of the armors and weapons that we had at that time and ability to make. And then when you go up here, you enter the officer quarters. Again, 4 of our community members, including Ruik himself, as one of these bunks. Oh, as all
Yes,
of us have bunks. You'll see in the other, if you tour that other barracks area, we all have a bed. Like Gror has a fancy bed in the barracks we were already in. Gror has fancy beds everywhere. That's how you know it's Gror's bed.
like this tiny little space is one of the only areas in the castle that I'm directly responsible for creating and decorating.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You did a
It's literally
fantastic
the
job.
only thing I've done.
You guys do really great work. It's beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go out this door. This is Gror. Everything you see here is Gror.
All is Gror.
I came and he didn't have the Antwood pack yet, so I put some plants down for him at that point, and then later he got the Antwood pack. Oh, absolutely beautiful work though. Oh, we need Clarice to come and do something with this, I guess, eh?
yeah.
Or any of our interior decorators come and make this
Oh yeah.
something. There's an interior space that's available inside the castle. You can have some. Oh, and then he created, come see this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like so excited. Let's go see. He's like, I made a spa. It's the only place in the server where you can easily come in and dip your head in the water and not die. Has a pretty spectacular view as well of the courtyard that he built out in front. This is now the east gate. Right here, this is the exit of the east gate. So yeah, that goes, those mushroom gardens go over to Gror's house where you saw earlier in the video. Then we come back down and we're gonna go out that gate at the bottom, or however you want to drop down into the courtyard of the mushroom area. You'll see just past it at the actual defensible gate. And then now there's the courtyard out front of the castle where 2 of our dwarves, Gror and Orin, had a tower contest one day. Don't really know what happened there. Just after a couple of weeks, these 2 towers appeared, and then Gror rebuilt the towers. Yes, we now have the 2 towers in the server, and they're connected. And the view from up top is pretty spectacular. You gotta want to go up there though, so Gror's gonna have to take you on an adventure. I've been up there too many times to count. Enjoy. I will wait. Multiple locations are works of. This server has existed for a year. We have been working together on this server for a year. So this alone, this Elven Quarter, has had multiple updates to get it to where it is now. And just like in the last video, there are areas that will change from it again to move forward. This area still has some zones that have yet to be or have been developed, but could still have nuance added.
We have at one point actually sent a copy of the server to the devs, and they got back to us with feedback on it. And they were really impressed.
They took pictures to prove that they were here.
Yeah. Not be too surprised if they didn't use this server as a benchmark for upgrading server latency and testing and things like that.
That
'Cause
we
they might
developed
have to in order to account for our efforts, just in terms of pushing the boundaries of what the game engine is able to do.
Yeah, yeah. Because as we progress, as other videos will show, we have really, really pushed each environment in an entirely different way. So we'll walk back into the castle to show you our big finale of what the castle in the end. Well, yes, what the Elven Quarter presently has to offer of the castle and the Elven Quarter, and it was designed originally by Gror. All I did to help was add a few shiny suits of armor and a few Durin statues. That's it. Otherwise, entirely Gror. It's up these crazy stairs. Come check this out. This is also one of the areas that when we watch the server break, this is one of the areas that falls and starts shattering down around us. It's happened multiple times. We've watched it fall. It's devastating. This is the throne room of Narvy's castle. Welcome. One day, in our imagination, when Durin returns, he will sit in this throne, and the other 6 dwarf lords will come from all over Middle-earth and sit in their chairs. They will be guarded by the Platinum Guard, and we would sit here. I would sit here as the host of this environment, as his steward. And there's a post for Eric when he is here, the Raven. And it's an absolutely beautiful room. We even actually have a story about the server. This entire castle was stolen from us once.
Oh, yes, that's right. Someone came in here and dismantled every last stone and made off with it.
Yes, yes. So it was a really bizarre experience. They came in here and they disassembled and hoovered up everything. And I came in and found just the castle missing. So it was like, this is definitely a thief because they didn't steal anything else in the server. They just came here and stole the castle.
It's like the most extreme type of griefing you can do. Stealing a whole castle.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm still stunned to this day, and we talk about it now with every other member that ever joins or talks with us because the resources in these communities are pretty much unlimited. You don't need to do that to anyone. We're giving here. Okay, we come out to the front, and on this is a spot that we have watched many of our community jump to their deaths.
Yep.
Many of our community. Like I'm thinking 6, 7. I've personally watched jump off of this.
Yeah. Someone
And-
just
and
did it last
other
week.
people-
Not inadvertently either. They just
No,
chose
no.
to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Yeah.
lag thing. They did it on purpose because those are just members of our community. They do things like that. They find an edge like this, or like as everyone knows who's played this game, farther along, the deeper the holes get. Yes, yes, they enjoy that about this.
Curiosity hits you.
Yeah, exactly. But another beautiful project. This was one of the issues of trying to get the sun into Narvy's forge. This was built, and the sun
Yeah.
doesn't shine through this that way. Okay, we can go outside it for one last little bit that we could walk over to the mines. Through the side over here.
Hmm.
And yeah, there's a little apartment that Discord community host built. His name is Hans. Created
Oh,
this little apartment on the other side. He builds developments that people are able to come and move into and recreate to their liking. Like he does an original project here. That's the base foundation of the house. And he is also our Discord community host. But he comes around and you'll see his projects throughout the server because he has a
oops.
specific sign that he hangs up on the front door that says Hans Inc. And you'll always know that this is one of his projects because it has one of those signs on the front door. But he makes them available, and then someone who's not super creative can come in here and move in and have their own place.
Okay, I think we finished.
I think so,
I
yes.
think
I
we
would
showed
set
them
up-
just about everything in this
Yeah.
district.
Thank you for coming on a tour of Darthek's community server with Gror, Dova, Rorik, and I.